These are the best hunters after the June update. Let's talk about it. What's good, YouTube? NoGoodEman coming to you today with a 100 tier list for June 2025. So guys, now that the latest update has come through, we've gotten characters like Lennart Niermann and a boost to the win meta as an entire whole. So guys, what are the newest best hunters? What are some tier list changes? Because we have some improvements to some other hunters in solo leveling Arise, but we're gonna talk about everything you need to know about the latest and greatest hunters within SLA. But before we do, make sure you leave a like on the video. If you're new, going to subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications so you don't miss a live or an upload, and to support your boy on that Netmarble website. Join over 618 supporters in supporting the Monica game to get those free codes. We're almost done with the current season, so when the time comes to extend your support, make sure you guys follow those steps to do so. But regardless, guys, let's go ahead and get straight back into the video. Now, the first thing to note is going to be Chahayan and Tawatakane. In my last tier list, I had a struggling question on whether which two hunters was truly the #1, and with the in-game balance adjustment notice, it turns out that Chahayan's advancement 3 will change with her sword resolve move. Now, instead, before Heavily Strike increases his damage by 60%, that is now increased by 110%, meaning the final number, Heavily Strike, increases its damage by 170%, meaning Chahayan is by far going to be one of the strongest characters within SLA. So she is going to be cemented as the #1. She is the strongest waifu in solo leveling and waifu leveling right now, and Tawatakane does come in at a close second. And I do want to mention that we do have a bunch of other hunters that did just get some balance adjustments. Let's talk about Charlotte, let's talk about Harper, let's talk about Silvermane Baekhyunho, and let's talk about Lim Tae-gyu. Currently, it seems like Netmarble is preparing for some type of dark meta, some dark support. They're honestly giving us some insight on what we can expect coming through for solo leveling Arise. Now, I do want to say, with these buffs, I am willing to take some of these hunters up a bit. I do think that Charlotte is going to be a very good character if you guys end up getting this character. Now, I'm personally not going to recommend that you guys do draw for Charlotte if you guys have, let's say, a new account. Charlotte's more so a hunter you get on accident, and if you end up getting this hunter at advancement 5 on accident, it won't be that terrible. Her ultimate now does about 700% more damage. Isla's dance now increases her damage by 30% instead of 15%, so there's a lot of things to really look forward to. So honestly, Charlotte is a very decent character. As far as Harper, she had some nice boost to her as well. I do want to say that her pork chop effect, instead of stacking up to 16 times, it now stacks up to 32 times. So that's going to be very good for the upcoming dark meta that's going to come. So we're predicting what we're gonna see. And then the boy Silvermane Baekhyunho, he just got some boosts when it comes to his attack. Again, a very decent character. I'm willing to take him up, so let's go ahead and take him up. I do think that Lee Bor is also going to be a pretty decent character, so in all honesty, Alicia Blanc, let's just put you behind Emma Laurent. Regardless, Silvermane is going to be a very good character as well. And then finally, the boy Lim Tae-gyu, he got some improvements to his attack as well, so let's move him up a spot or two. Now, let's talk about some other changes. We're talking about the win meta. As you can see, we've taken basically all the important win meta characters. Sorry, Woo Jin Cho, for that. But we've taken all the important win meta characters and put them towards the bottom. So where do they rank? Let's talk about it. Starting off with AMAMIYA MIREI. In my last tier list, I had AMAMIYA MIREI right behind Thomas Andre, right in front of GOTO RYUJI, right in front of Yoo So-hyun and likes of the sorts. But guys, with this next update, MIREI is no longer in the limelight, especially if we're talking about the recent workshop of Brilliant Light. I've talked to some people, nobody's able to really clear it when it comes to hard mode workshop. The recovery on the bosses is just too insane for MIREI to keep up. So unfortunately, MIREI is not a hunter that people are going to be recommending going forward. If you guys have a new account, you probably will want to draw for Lennart. And what does Lennart rank in these rankings? We're going to talk about that soon, so don't skip ahead, but hear me out on the MIREI. MIREI is going to see a bump down to the very good category. Now, I do want to say MIREI is still a very good character, guys. And if you guys get MIREI, you won't regret using her. It's just that in the current workshop of Brilliant Light, it just seems like Netmarble is trying to gear it towards the newest hunters that they want to push, right? It's a business at the end of the day. So Netmarble has to get their coins. And how do they get their coins? By making the old units irrelevant and making the new units prevalent. Now, MIREI is now going to be in the A tier. Argue with the wall. Regardless, guys, let's talk about the next character. and that's going to be HWANG. Now, HWANG was also towards the bottom of the very good category, but in the in-game balance and adjustment notes, something big actually happened for Advancement 5. Her natural unity effect previously increased the user's attack by 10%, increasing wind damage by 20%, but now natural unity will increase the user's attack and defense by 10%, which is actually going to be good for any type of hunter on the win team, whether that be Lennart Niermann, whether that be Hwang Dong-soo, or even AMAMIYA MIREI, because now she's getting additional defense, which would help out with her survivability. So that instantly makes HWANG a insane unit, guys. I'm going to take HWANG to the S rank category, and honestly, this might be one of the larger jumps in the tier list, and you guys might disagree, but hear me out. I think that HWANG, very insane unit. Now, of course, is she better than ISLA WRIGHT? Probably not in the entire aspect. I don't think you'll probably run HWANG as a support unit in many regards, but I do want to note that she does have an immortal effect, a 1-of-1 effect within Soul Leveling Arise. The ability to stop yourself from dying is insane to have in your basic skill passives, right? In your passive details in your kits. HWANG is the only character that can stop your HP going below 1% in Soul Leveling Arise. The only other thing that could do that is for Sun Jinwoo, and it's called Daily Quest Recovery. So let's go ahead and give HWANG some respect. She's going to be used in a bunch of content that is win weakness. I don't think that she's going to be the best support unit within SLA. As a matter of fact, we could go ahead and bring up ISLA WRIGHT just to let you guys know that HWANG, while she is good, let's go ahead and give ISLA WRIGHT her respect, and we're gonna put ISLA WRIGHT in the S rank category as well, because we're predicting the dark meta that's going to come through with all the boosts to the dark hunters, and with If Sunjina coming through very, very shortly. Now, let's go ahead and talk about Hwang Dong-poo. So, Hwang Dong-poo, honestly, this dude is an interesting character. I've still never really used this character, so take this one with a grain of salt, but he started off in the average category, and now he could be useful. All right, he could be useful, guys. He's not gonna boost up too much, dude. This might be personal bias, and I'm perfectly fine with that, but regardless, guys, mentioning HWANG's boost at Advancement 5, that natural unity effect, boosting the entire team's attack and defense by 10%. I believe Hwang Dong-soo scales off of defense, so he can actually eat off that. You might be able to see some viability in maybe Guild Boss, so that's only one game mode that you might want to take Hwang Dong-soo to, so I'm not gonna bring him up too much up above more than could be useful, because you would have to build out Hwang Dong-soo, build out his weapon. Many of you guys don't have that resource. Regardless, if you guys end up getting Hwang Dong-soo at high advancements, you could use him in your win team meta, but you probably are going to be more likely using the last two characters in our tier list. So let's go ahead and talk about them. Lennart Niermann, everybody. Let's give it up for the German hunter Lennart Niermann. But where does he rank in these rankings, guys? In all honesty, I would love to put Lennart Niermann in the national level category, but he's just not the greatest hunter within SLA. If I put him in the national level category, that would be a personal bias. Now, personally, I do like his kit. Is he a must? Well, you might have to watch our guide video on Lennart Niermann to really make that informed decision. But regardless, in this video, Lennart Niermann does sneak into the S rank category. He is a high scaling DPS, but he's not better than every other character that I currently see in the S rank category. So personally, as far as utility, Lennart Niermann, he can do some very good things. He has ultimate skill spam. He is a very, very, very good unit, but I just think that in current day, maybe there's a bug out there, maybe there's something wrong with this kit, but he's just not too necessary when it comes to the win unit. Now, of course, the win meta as a whole, it's only going to be here for about 38 more days, and then I think they're going to start pushing the dark meta with If Sunjina, but I think Lennart Niermann's still in S rank category, so don't think it's personal. I wouldn't really take the S rank category ranked from, let's say, 1 through 7, saying Thomas Andre is the strongest. You could really mix and match these. You could really argue for each and every spot here. I would say that a lot of these spots are interchangeable, but Lennart Niermann is a very, very good character. I'm willing to put him at least, you know, maybe somewhere in the middle, so you guys might have to, you know, stop typing that rude comment that you're commenting right now. But regardless, guys, let's go ahead and talk about the final character. It's gonna be the King GOTO RYUJI. So GOTO RYUJI, in my last tier list, he was right behind AMAMIYA MIREI, which was right behind Thomas Andre. So he was in this spot right here. However, we've got an interesting change and we've got a new national level hunter. So the King GOTO RYUJI, he didn't get it in the manhwa or the anime, but he gets it in SLA. GOTO RYUJI is now a national level hunter. Everybody give it up for GOTO RYUJI. Now, GOTO RYUJI, there's a multitude of reasons why he's now a national level hunter. He is very, very, very insane for your win team. And I think with the addition of Lennart Niermann, and Lennart honestly boosts GOTO RYUJI's HP for every win ally in the party at his advancement 4. And then don't forget about GOTO RYUJI boosting the third team member's damage and then increasing their damage taken, which is, you know, a double-edged sword. Regardless, you could throw GOTO RYUJI in that third spot and he would reap his own benefits from his own boost. GOTO RYUJI is a very insane character, one of the fastest breakers. Him and Saren are literally neck to neck. So he's got breaker, he's got DPS, and he's got some support from his own DPS. So you might need to rock GOTO RYUJI more often. I do think that if you're gonna build a team, getting GOTO RYUJI to start in SLA, it would be a good place to start because he has break, he has DPS, so you would be clearing a bunch of content and a bunch of AoE in his kits. He has so much, and I mean, so much skill spam, right? And really, to see the full potential of Lennart Niermann at high advancements, you would need GOTO RYUJI at high advancements, because within Lennart Niermann's advancement 3, for every win skill that a win team member uses, he gets his power gauge boosted, he gets something boosted, and essentially with GOTO RYUJI having several hits in his basic skill 1 and his basic skill 2, each and every time you sub out GOTO RYUJI after using all his basic skills, Lennart Niermann will have his ultimate ready literally each and every QTE rotation. So if you QC from GOTO to Han, and then from Han, use Han skills, of course, go from Han to Lennart Niermann, Lennart will be doing insane damage. I'm talking about an ultimate every rotation. Ultimate skill spam is insane. But guys, with that, what do you guys think of the tier list for June 2025? Go ahead and leave your thoughts, theories, and comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications, and with that, I'll see you guys in the next one. Y'all take care. Peace.